Morning peeps, good morning everyone. How we all doing? Hopefully you guys are all doing well. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button. If you guys are new to the channel, don't forget as well to like and share the vids. All right, pound for pound rankings. This isn't easy. I don't think I've ever done one of these, or if I have, it was a long time ago. I'm not quite sure what the criteria is. People seem to make it up as they go along, but there have been a couple of very big fights recently, and a lot of people's pound for pound rankings have changed. So I'm going to try and give you my 10 pound for pound best fighters on the planet. This is obviously my top 10 pound for pound best male fighters. I'm going to do a female one as well, because I think that's changed a lot in recent times. Chantel Cameron beating Katie Taylor. I think Alicia Baumgardner has jumped up as well. Sinisa put in a good performance on Friday in Vegas. So look, there's been a few movements with regards to female fighters. But okay, we're going to try. And again, it's not easy. I mean, what is it based off? But we're going to try and give an honest, my honest top 10 pound for pound rankings. I've got Ring Magazine's top 10 here, and they've got Vasily Lomachenko at number 10. I mean, I love Loma more than probably any boxer on the planet, but he doesn't crack my top 10 anymore, unfortunately. Regardless of how controversial that Devin Haney fight was, he lost. So I don't know if you can be in there. All right, number one, no surprise, Terence Crawford, double undisputed now, 140, 147 pounds, unbeaten, 40-0. 40-0, 31 knockouts. Solid. It's ridiculous. He's number one. Number two is a guy that was number one up until Saturday, and that's INOUE. INOUE jumping up to super bantam to put the beating on Stephen Fulton. He will become undisputed in that weight class as well. He is number two for me. So number one and number two for me are locked. If they're not your number one and number two, look, your own opinion, right? I mean, you could have an argument to have someone else in there. I'd be very, very surprised. I'd also be very surprised if your number three, oh, it's tough, but if your number three isn't Alexander Usyk, I'd be very surprised. Now, some might say, well, one second, what have you done for me lately? Alexander Usyk hasn't fought for nearly a year. And the last time he fought, he beat Anthony Joshua in a rematch. But this guy was undisputed at cruiserweight, and he's now the unified heavyweight champion of the world. That's solid. For me, that is solid. My number four, and I think this is where it gets a bit tricky, because there are undisputeds here as well that maybe people think should be higher. But my number four is Dimitri Bivol. I love, as you guys can see, I absolutely love Dimitri Bivol. Again, look, we haven't seen Dimitri Bivol for a long time. His last fight was against Gilberto Ramirez. That feels like a lifetime ago. But you've got to understand the work this guy's put in. He's unbeaten. He's the WBO. It is WBO, isn't it? WBA, apologies. Light heavyweight champion. Put a beating on Canelo. Followed it up, as I said, with victory over Gilberto Ramirez. And I know Beterbiev is unbeaten and he's got more of the belts, right? But I think he is the best light heavyweight on the planet. That's my four. I think most people, in whatever order you have 3 and 4, I think most people will have, or the majority of people will have those as your 4. This is now, for me, where it gets a bit tricky. Number 5, I just have to... this guy was number 1 for a couple of years. He's only suffered 1 defeat of recent, and that's Canelo Alvarez. I can't have him less than number 5. I was thinking about this. I can't. Remember, he's undisputed at super middleweight. This guy cleaned out the super middleweight division. Say what you want about the opposition, but he cleaned it out in 14 months, having started the division with no belts. It's not like he came into that division and had a couple. No. He started with no belts and literally went past all the champions and destroyed them. Destroyed all the champions. And all of them were unbeaten. Caleb Plant, unbeaten. Benedict Saunders, unbeaten. Callum Smith, unbeaten. Solid run. So I'm going to have Canelo at number 5. Number 6. Number 6 ain't easy. Number 6 ain't easy at all. This is where it gets very, very tricky. Again, I've not mentioned 2 undisputed champions yet. Devin Haney, undisputed. Jamel Charlo, undisputed. Number 6, I'm going to Damn. Ain't easy. Beterbiev. I might change this, by the way. Beterbiev. Just a force of nature. Just a will that is just stronger than your will. Unified champ at light heavyweight, unbeaten. Every single person he's fought, he's stopped. What can I tell you? What can I think about that for a second? Every single person he's fought, he has stopped. That's frightening. That's frightening. I think that's the case anyway. Look, we want to see that fight with Dimitri Bivol. We don't know what's going to happen, but I have to put Beterbiev high. If I've got Bivol high, I have to put Beterbiev high as well. So I'm going to have Beterbiev at number 6. Number 7, I'm going to say Jermell Charlo, who I think doesn't get enough credit. And the reason I've got him high, first of all, he's undisputed. You again, collected the belts. It's not like he's an undisputed that someone else collected the belts and then he beat that person, then he grabbed all those belts. I give respect to that, but I don't give it as much plaudits. I love the fact that in the 2 fights where he's lost, so for me, obviously the Castano fight where it was a draw, but I thought he lost. Comeback, phenomenal performance. Tony Harrison lost, comeback, phenomenal performance. So it's almost like you can't keep him down. And I like someone that's come through a bit of adversity as well. So I'm going to go number 7, Jermell Charlo. Number 8. Fuck, man, this is difficult. Again, this could change, by the way. This could change. Number 8. Errol Spence. I think Errol Spence is my number 8 pound for pound. I can't. Terence Crawford's number 1. Errol was number 5 at worst, I think, before that fight. I can't knock you off the list for getting beaten by the number 1 pound for pound fighter, the best fighter of this generation, one of the best fighters of all time. You can't then just drop out and fall off a cliff. Errol Spence was the unified welterweight champion. Errol Spence was unbeaten. One defeat doesn't fall you that far back for me. Just like I didn't do it with Canelo losing to Bivol. So I can't push him that far back. So my number 8 is Errol Spence. I think he deserves to be on this list. I think he does. Boy. Number 9. It's funny because I have to have him in because he's undisputed. But I don't think he's the best in the division. But I have to have him in, and that's Devin Haney. It's a strange one with Devin because I think Shakur can beat him. And I think Shakur will beat him. And I think Gervonta will give him problems as well. And I think there's an argument to say Loma. But the fact is, he's undisputed. He has all the marbles in the division. And I think it's disrespectful to leave someone that is undisputed off a list. I just don't think you can. I don't think it's right. So I'm going to have him. Yeah, I'm going to have him as number 9 pound for pound. Number 10 is a problem. The one person I think that maybe gets disrespected more than most, and I think the recent performance probably means he is on this list. He has 2 Hall of Fame wins. Hall of Fame great wins. One of those wins was against Loma. One was against Josh Taylor. And that's Teofimo Lopez. I know he got beat by Kambosos, but I think this guy gets slept on too much. And look, this might be controversial, him being there. And so I know some people might have Tank in there and others. But I think Teofimo Lopez, come on, man. Come on. I mean, this guy mentally, you think he's down and out. And for some reason, he just finds a way. He finds a way. So, yeah, I'm going to have Teofimo Lopez, I think, as my number 10. I've probably missed out on so many great boxers here. It ain't easy. Guys, do yours. Who makes your top 10? What order? I know a lot of people will have Tank. Some people will have Estrada coming off that win against Chocolatito. Some people might even have Bam in there as well. I've seen some lists with Tyson Fury. So look, we're in a great era of boxing. So there'll be some greats that I've left out. But that is my number 10 or my top 10 pound for pound rankings. Off the cuff. Maybe I've got it wrong. Maybe I've got it right. What's yours? Peace.